I know that I only want the timer to run when the activity is actually on screen. On start here is called right before the activity comes on screen, and on stop here is called once the activity goes off screen. So these callback methods seem like good candidates for when we should start and stop our timer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the timer here in on start. And I'll stop it in on stop. Okay, I've got logcat open here and I'm looking for dessert timer logs, so I'm going to go ahead and just start running my app. And I can see as soon as my app starts, my timer is actually running and it starts counting. And even if I go over here and I open up this share dialog here, my timer just keeps going. But if I were to navigate away, the timer stops. And I can actually go back and the timer starts right on up again. Now if I navigate out, the timer also stops and it's completely destroyed. So out of curiosity, let's see what happens if I were to forget to stop my timer in on stop. I'm here in the main activity and I'm just going to comment this out. I'm going to open up logcat, let's clear this out, and I'm just going to run this again. So it loads up and I can see as soon as it starts, the timer starts counting up. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to the launcher screen. And even while I'm on this launcher screen, it is still counting. And that's because I never actually stopped this timer. So this is actually what I would expect from this scenario, but it's probably not the behavior that I want for my game. Let's go ahead and stop this. So basically, and let me go ahead and uncomment this, the pattern in general is that whenever you set up something in one of these callbacks, you want to remove it in the corresponding callback to avoid having it run when it's no longer needed. Now, why is it important to make sure that you're calling it in the corresponding callback, as opposed to, say, starting the timer in onCreate, but stopping it in onStop? Okay, so let's actually give that a try. I'm going to go ahead and take this line out of onStart, and I'm going to go up to onCreate, and right here after I make the timer, I'm going to start it. Okay, so let's run our app again. And just like before, it's counting up, and now I'm going to navigate away. Okay, and the timer stops, but then if I go back to my app, it doesn't start up again. And that's because when I came back, onCreate actually doesn't get called at that point. So there's two morals to this story. The first is that if you set up a resource, you want to remember that, and you want to not forget to tear it down. And the second is that you want to do setup and tear down in corresponding or mirrored methods. So if you set up something in onStart, you want to tear it down in onStop. If you set up something in onCreate, you want to tear it down in onDestroy.